would like to ask you, where were you before joining this program? Only the physical consequences of that situation, but mentally, how that affected your daily living and your interactions with your loved ones.
It was a year before I started the program where I had that injury with the back, and it was a MRI showed the disc was bulging. I don't really even know what happened. And then it hit the nerve that went around the backside of my right glute, and then actually hit my right quad, and the nerves were so damaged that my right quad atrophied to half its size and about a third of the strength of the left side. I didn't sleep for 13 days because the pain was so intense. So it was a horrific experience. So I did what everybody does. You go to the doctors. The surgeon says he can do surgery. The chiropractors say they can fix you with this or that. And so I went through a process for 1 year of kind of doing all the stuff that everybody does, buying the gimmicks online, trying this or that, physical therapy, the whole 9 yards. I got out of the acute stage, but it was still not good. My life was not nearly what I wanted it to be. I lived an active lifestyle. I like to play a lot of golf. What was interesting for me is I wanted to always find out what was the reason for. So what I was looking for was somebody to tell me why, and then how I could prevent it. Because in my life, I have enough discipline. I can get up and I can do things and make myself do it if I know I'm going to get results. I never had anybody to tell me what to do, how to do it, or what the cause of it all was. So I listened to Dr. Jeff, caught him a few times on Instagram. As I just heard him more and more, he made more sense. Where I was a pain level of 10, I went down. I was probably still flirting with, 6s, 5s. Sometimes it get a little worse. It wasn't no fun. So I just started the program, and I had to give up. I was still working out in the gym, not as much as I used to, but I was still doing it. So cut out that, and I started just kind of doing it like I was back at square one through the program. I got educated, which was the big thing for me. It's not a quick process. It's a slow process of, okay, how am I getting out of the chair? How am I getting out of the car? How am I brushing my teeth? How am I, doing different things? You gradually find yourself getting into habits that help. And then when we started doing, more exercise and stuff, well, that's when I started taking off, because I usually like to go to the gym every day, or 5-6 days a week. So that lended more to my routines and lifestyles. The best thing for me is what not to do. I mean, I was doing things before where I was thinking, certain yoga things were supposed to be great, and you'd listen to the videos and you'd be like, no, that's not good for you. My brother is a pain doctor, and most of his practice is people that have had back surgeries, and they've had multiple back surgeries. So I was determined, unless I couldn't live with it, I wasn't going down that route. We're week 30 something here. I feel good. I don't feel perfect, but I have my life back. I can play golf. I can, exercise every day without fear. It's just now I have a conscious effort, what I can do, what I can't do. When I kind of push it, I'm like, okay, back off there. And then a couple of times, you do stupid things where you kind of injure it a little bit, but you have a plan to go back to. I can go do this and this and this, and then my recovery back to normal is so much quicker. All those things were really because of the program, and it was the best thing I did. Wish I'd have done it the first, instead of waiting a year, but I had to go through and try all those things and waste a lot of money. I could go into much more detail, but that's essentially it. So
it was fantastic, Dirk. Where were you mentally going through? Can you imagine 13 days without sleeping? How was that affecting your daily life? And
there was no life. Yeah, there was no life. It was miserable. It was they were miserable watching me, because you're in a constant level of pain and it's written all over your face. You have a lot of people rely on me. I have my own business, kids that are dependent on me. You just had to fight through it and to work, and it was hard. I was going to say it'd be hard to get up every day, but I wasn't getting up because I wasn't sleeping. I can see how it can beat people down to the point where they get, really distraught. I want to have a mentality where I was, give me something to hang on to and then work towards. And that's what I certainly found in the program.
How's your situation now?
It's good. I mean, I still feel it. I still feel the back. It's like, it's not like it's I'm 100%. I'm ready to go. But I'm ready to go. There's not much I can't do, and I'm just smart enough to avoid things that most of the time that I shouldn't do. it's a good reminder in a way, in that, it doesn't always feel perfect. So the reminder is, okay, I still got to do this. I still got to, stretch and hang and do all the things, the decompression, etc. I don't think there's any time in my life for the rest of my life that I won't be doing some of it. And that's good. That's okay. So I feel good. And I can, I can't play golf every day, but I can go out there and do it, 2-3 times a week if I want to. And then do most of the other things in my life that I want to. So, I'm 60 years old. Is about all I can really ask for. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that. You look great.
Yeah.
Congratulations. You work very hard. So we're very happy for you. And it shows your dedication and your discipline, because that's an important aspect of this work. What would you tell people who are going through a similar situation and are trying to find a solution? They're considering joining this program, but it's an online program.
With the program like this, there is light at the end of the tunnel. The tunnel may not be 6 feet long, it may be miles long, but there's light. The goal setting is important, which I know you guys have that, and that's always important. And simple things. I'm going to walk this far. I'm going to do these exercises. It's not impossible. And the reality is, even though it's hard to initiate sometimes, you always feel better afterwards, and that's the one thing. And I learned that about working out a long time ago. I don't feel like getting up early in the morning and doing it, but boy, I feel a lot better afterwards, and I feel a lot worse when I don't. So that's motivation for me. And for everybody else, it's just like, you got to figure out how you can motivate when you don't feel like doing it. For me, it's absolutely just to get better. So I always remembered, how I was just feeling on those 13 nights, going, I believe how bad this hurts and how bad I can't sleep. And then I'd be like, that's motivation, because I don't want to go back there again. That is no fun.
Yes.
There's 1,000 things out there that people are trying to sell you, programs, classes, whatever. And I'm not saying they're all bad, but you got to try to tune out the noise. What I found with this one is, it was something that they didn't promise you instant results, but it gives you a life plan. I wanted to not only get out of the situation you're in, which takes time, but then also after that to extend it and to give you things to do for the rest of your life. So, I mean, I've given advice on things that I've learned in the program to my relatives and friends, and they benefited from it. So I found this to be a really good, it fit me perfectly, and I don't know why it wouldn't fit anybody, really. So.
Thank you.